This is the balloon in a bottle experiment. So what you're going to need, well, obviously a bottle. I'm going to use this small 500 millilitres plastic bottle, so this will be fine for this experiment. You're going to need something to make a hole in the bottle. Now this rather fiendish looking object is a food skewer for people when they want to cook food on it. I'm going to use this to make a hole in this bottle, but you might find something else that you find easier to use. Some people actually do use a proper little drill, make a little hole in the bottle. I'm sure you can think of some other ways. I'll leave that to you. You need, of course, a balloon if you're going to have a balloon in a bottle. So I've got a pile of balloons here. Let's pick out that one. I like yellow. Now the first thing I want you to do, just to make sure that you're happy that you can blow up a balloon, is just blow it up. Don't tie it off, just blow it up and let it down again, okay? And give it a good strong blow, blow it up. Ready? Big, strong puff. Okay, no problem. Okay, so that was easy, wasn't it? I hope you found it easy too. And by the way, if you're one of these people that does find it a bit hard to blow a balloon up, it might be better to get someone to do this with you who can blow a balloon up. Now, what I want you to now do is push the balloon down into the bottle very carefully, prod it down, not all the way, a bit of a shake, and holding on to the mouth of the bottle and the balloon, so hold it carefully, that's it. I want you to stretch the mouth of the balloon right over the mouth of the bottle. Let's see if I can do it and show you what I mean without dropping it all. Okay, that's not too bad. I've done it worse than that before. Okay, as long as it's open a bit, that should be fine. Okay, so it's sealed around the edges and it's got a hole there. So you should be able to blow into there. What I want you now to do, just as you did before, put this in your mouth and as hard as you can, see if you can blow the balloon up in the bottle. Okay, so remember, just put it in your mouth and blow as hard as you can to see if you can blow the balloon up in the bottle. Once you've tried that, remember, don't tie it off, just leave it as it is. Then what I want you to do is make a hole in the bottle. Now, I've actually already made mine and I use this to do it. I push the hole in the side there, okay? But of course, you can do the same thing yourself with some other tool. And look, I'm just going to turn it around to widen the hole out. But you may choose to use some other sort of tool or gadget to do that, and that's fine. Remember, whatever you use, it's going to have to be pretty sharp, so please do be sensible whatever tool you use. So make a hole, and you don't need a big hole, just a small one. You notice, hopefully, this is quite a small hole here. Once you've done that, leaving the balloon in place, try and blow it up again. So we already tried once, and then do it again. Ready? And you have a go, and see what you notice. Now, I wonder what you found out. Well, let me show you how I did this and what happens for me, and let's see if it's the same as for you. Of course, I've actually now made a hole in my bottle, and remember the first thing you had to do was have a complete bottle with no holes in it and blow the balloon up. Well, of course, all I can do right now is just block the hole with my finger like that. And that'll simulate a bottle with no hole in it because I've actually blocked it off, haven't I? So I'm going to block it up with my finger. Of course you could put a bit of sticky tape over it, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to put my finger over it there. Ready? I just can't do it. I cannot blow a balloon up in a bottle. Of course it goes up a little bit, and you probably found that. It probably went up a bit, but it didn't go up very much, okay? Okay, I expect you found the same as me, unless your lungs are unbelievably powerful. You probably couldn't do it either. So that's a bit weird. Now, remember the next bit. You were supposed to make a hole. I already did mine, didn't I, with this? Okay, hopefully you were sensible. There's the hole. Let's do the same thing again. Remember, blow as hard as you can and see what happens this time. So, when you put the balloon in the bottle with no hole, it's pretty much impossible to inflate more than just a bit. As soon as you make a hole, it goes up much more easily. What's going on? So what's going on with this one then? Well, let's think back for a minute to when you blew the balloon up outside, because I want to remind you of a couple of things I'm sure you know about. When we blow air into a balloon, of course we fill up our lungs with air, we push hard with our lungs, pushing the air out of our mouth. We blow hard with pressure, and that high pressure air goes into the balloon, pushes into the balloon and inflates it. And of course that's pretty easy to understand. So the pressure of the air from our breath makes the balloon blow up. And as it blows up and gets bigger, of course, to get bigger, it has to push the air out of the way that's surrounding it. And that's important, think about it. To get bigger, of course, it's got to push the air out of the way that's around it. Think again, look. Otherwise, how can it get bigger? It must push the air out of the way that's surrounding it. Now, normally in a big room like this, that's no problem at all. In the bottle, of course, we've now put it in. We've sealed the bottle with the balloon itself. We've pushed the top of the balloon over the edge of the bottle, so we've sealed it. So when you blow in here now to try and inflate it, and of course this one has still got a hole in it. If I do what I did before and block it and blow it, of course I'm blowing lots of pressure in here as I did before, as hard as I was there, if not harder actually when I was blowing in. Do you remember? My eyes were bulging, so I was blowing really hard. But of course the balloon can't get bigger because it can't push the air out of the way because the air's got nowhere to go. The air is trapped in there. Remember, when you first did it, there wasn't a hole in, and I'm blocking it right now. But the air's trapped because the balloon is sealing it here. So when I try and make it bigger, the air has got nowhere to go. So the balloon can't push it out of the way. And what actually ends up happening is it blows up a bit, and when the pressure inside the balloon is about the same as the pressure surrounding it inside that bottle, it stops going up. I might be able to blow a bit harder, but there's going to be a limit to how hard I can blow. I'm never going to be able to blow hard enough to be able to increase it any much bigger than this. So that's why it doesn't go up first. When you make a hole in the bottle, think about it. Now, as the balloon tries to get bigger, it can push some of the air out of the way because now it can escape through the hole you made. Of course, I'm going to take my finger off now. There's the hole. Okay? So that's the balloon in a bottle experiment. So what other things could you try to see what would happen? Well, how about a different sized bottle? That'd be interesting. Remember, this is about 500 millilitres. So what would happen if we tried the experiment, say, in a much smaller bottle or a much bigger bottle? 2 litre bottle, for example. What about a different shaped bottle? Do you think that would make any difference? So the same volume, say in this case 500 ml, but see if you can, whatever size you use, try a different shape. So for example, this is a bigger than 500 ml, but it's a different shape. Would that make a difference, do you think, to the experiment? What about different shape balloons? I've used like a round balloon for this experiment. What about if you tried it with long balloons? Do you think that's going to work? Could it still work in this one? What about different size holes? Do you think that's going to make a difference, or does it have to be a certain size for this to work? Here's a sort of a visual teaser for you I'll leave you to consider. Part of it I'll give you a clue for. This would be a fun trick to do with somebody. What you can do is blow the balloon up, show them that you can do it. You don't have to tell them there's a hole there. Block the hole a bit. Now this particular bottle sucks in a bit. Some bottles don't do that. Bottles which have ridges on are better at keeping their shape. And then to sell, look, I can tip air out. Because it looks a bit like you're pouring it out. Blocking the hole, and then I tip it up and take my finger off the hole and it comes out. Now of course it would be better to find a bottle that has ridges, as I said, because they don't tend to get sucked in so easily as that did. Bearing in mind that bit of information, there's a clue there about the next experiment that I'm going to leave you to think about. Here we have a bit of a dusty bottle here, an old plastic bottle with a balloon full of water. How could I get a balloon full of water in a plastic bottle? The clue is in the first part of this experiment. Have a go.